you here.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bottom of the cup.
Oh, you put a lot of effort into improving this place and making it more yours over the years. And what's the motivation there?
Part of it comes from this idea that instead of the way that we live, extracting and consuming more, you can actually give back through the way that you live. That struck me really deep. In trying to make this home, putting efforts into making this home a more healthy place, I'm also striving to be conscious with my consumption when I build here. And because I have that commitment to my sit spot and my place, it's hard for me I feel like I need to consider that when I'm working on my home. You know, I did take off into the woods for a while, and I was doing shelter building. You know, I was really into shelter in my home, and now it's just in a different way. Like now I've got a family and own a home, and those same intentions are playing out, only in a more conventional, modern context. And I'm striving to make my shelter a beautiful, healthy place and do it in a connected way.
Hey.
Whoa,
Dude,
that was weird.
Do you have any like Lysol or anything I can put on my knee?
I got some sanitizer somewhere here.
Okay. Yeah, because your knee touched mine.
Right.
And this whole idea of, localizing resources, reducing consumption, and this specific one is around, you're repurposing old wood.
I don't want to use toxic materials for us, and I don't want to use toxic materials for the earth. I want it to be more natural. There's this massive resource here in the Pacific Northwest in Western Washington of Western red cedar. Specifically, one of the main materials that I'm using is old cedar fence boards. People are tearing down fences and they're just going to toss them. So it's a waste stream. It's a massive local resource. People are connected to place, cultures that are really connected to place and living from their place, how much they're just made up of their place. Their clothing, their shelter, their food. And I just love the fact that as I'm harvesting the cedar and putting cedar in my house, I'm connecting with, the beings of this place. And I actually pause quite a bit and think about that. And even as I'm working, just like feel the fact that I'm working with cedar. And now when I come out here and I walk around in the woods, I feel like so much more connected to cedar. I live with it. I smell it. I touch it. I feel it. I'm more surrounded with the beings that surround us in our place, as opposed to, these other materials that I could buy. And I was looking at some bamboo flooring. Just where is that coming from, and how connected am I to it? When I try to go to make that purchase, it just doesn't feel right. Whereas all this work that I'm doing with this cedar, it feels so good to be working with this material.
Talk like this.
I know. Maybe don't make eye contact. I feel like an obligation to tread more lightly and to give back. I feel more connected to it all. And so I can actually feel that connection with how I'm consuming in my home. And if I'm cutting down some distant forest for flooring in my home, as opposed to harvesting cedar fence boards that are all around me, that are laying around, that people just need to get rid of, I feel that connection of my impact and the way my actions are. So yeah, the routines that we practice at Anake and at the Wilderness Awareness School have given me this deep sense of connection that now is affecting how I live my life in many different ways.